Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about 4 hidden things you should know about eFootball. Honestly, if I had known these things earlier, it would have helped me a lot. Anyways, let's get started. First point, playing style capability. Every player comes with a specific playing style, and we all know that part. You probably already know what kind of role each playing style offers. For example, a fox in the box is a striker who stays very close to the attacking line, waits for the pass, and finishes the chance. An anchorman defensive midfielder mainly protects the defensive backline. An extra frontman center back always likes to step forward, join the attack, and stay ahead of the defensive line. So just like that, every role has its own unique way of performing on the pitch. But here's the important part. Every playing style also has limitations. Let me simplify this. When you open a player's details, you'll see an area coverage section that shows the positions the player can play. The bright green areas mean the player can play there with a similar overall rating. Faded green means slightly lower effectiveness, and blank areas mean the position is not playable at all. Now here's where many people get confused. For example, if you take a goal poacher center forward like Mbappe, you can play him on the right wing, left wing, or even in midfield. But his goal poacher playing style will become inactive in those positions. That means even though he can play there, his special movement and positioning behavior will stop working. So how do you check all this properly? Just tap on the I button and you'll see the full list of playing styles along with their compatible positions. It doesn't matter if a player can play multiple positions. If the playing style is out of position, that style becomes inactive. Now, does that mean you cannot use a player outside his playing style? No, you absolutely can. The player will still perform well, but he'll simply play as a normal position holder without any special style behavior. Second point, player characteristics. There are 4 main characteristics you should always pay attention to in the game. The first one is weak foot usage, which is closely connected to the second one, weak foot accuracy. If a player has low weak foot accuracy, you really need to notice how often he uses his weak foot and which foot is actually his stronger one. This directly affects how you pass or shoot with that player. If the accuracy is low, try to avoid shooting or making risky passes from the weaker side. Also, if a player rarely uses his weak foot, you need to keep that in mind while attacking. On the other hand, if a player has high or very high weak foot accuracy, even if the usage is only occasional, you can confidently shoot with both feet. Still, my recommendation is simple. Always know the stronger foot of every player in your active lineup. Next, we have player form. There are 5 form levels in the game. A is excellent, B is good, C is decent, D is bad, and E is the worst. My direct advice here is to avoid D and E condition players at all costs. A, B, and C are generally safe to use. If a player has a standard form, then his condition will vary more often, so you need to be careful. But if a player has an unwavering form, you can use him in most situations because his condition doesn't fluctuate much. Still, no matter what, I personally avoid using any player who is in E condition. Lastly, we have injury resistance. If a player has low injury resistance, he has a much higher chance of getting injured during matches. Higher resistance means fewer injuries. This matters a lot, especially during tight possession battles and physical situations. Fourth point, automatic match support. There's an option called automatic match support, and it includes 3 different settings. The first one is substitutions. You can set this from very late to very early. Very late means substitutions happen later in the match. Flexible adjusts substitutions based on match conditions and player stamina. Very early means fresh players will be subbed in much earlier. Next is the offside trap. This one is a bit tricky. When it's turned on, your defenders try to lure attackers into offside positions by suddenly stepping forward. But this is also risky. If your opponent reads it correctly, he can pass to a non-offside player and attack through the gap, which is extremely hard to defend. So here are my 2 suggestions. First, if your defenders are not fast enough, turn it off. Second, if you don't want your defenders pushing forward too much, also turn it off. This feature is risky for beginners, but when it works, it can be very effective in stopping attacks. Lastly, we have Attack Defense Level Auto Guide. If you don't manually control your attack and defense levels during a match, you can turn this on. It works based on your squad position and adjusts automatically during counterattacks and defensive situations. Fourth point, analysis data. There's a feature in my team called analysis, and this is something you should really pay attention to. Always try to observe what you are doing and how other players perform. In the match data section, you can see everything: dribbling, defending, shooting, passing, and special controls. You'll also see your stats compared with actual top division players from around the world based on the commands you use in matches. For example, in dribbling, I personally need to improve normal dribbling and reduce how often I use the dash button. In defending, I need better control of pressure tackles and should use matchup more. In shooting, I use stunning shots way too often, so I need to control that and rely more on normal or controlled shots. Doing this actually improves scoring chances in real gameplay. These stat graphs clearly show your real performance compared to top division players worldwide. So yeah, these 4 topics are really important. I know some of you already know all of this, but many players completely ignore these details. If this video helped you in any way, make sure to hype it up. And click on this video to watch my full 50 tips guide on eFootball.